Hello there. So, what is the difference between the game producer and the executive game producer? Are there any intersections? Can the one be grown into the other? Let's find this out. So, you know that the titles, producer, director, all that stuff is coming from the movies, right? We have this in gaming from the movie industry. But it's fun that the theater industry, which is way too close to the gaming one than movies, does not inherit majority of the titles. Anyway, the game producer is the person who, generally speaking, just keeping focus on the product, the wholeness of the product, building a team, controlling the processes, managing the project like task management, all that stuff. And the executive does things differently. First, execs are focusing on the financial and certain PR stuff more than the game producer. They controls the production of the game on the certain points and not like day to day. They have they're familiar with the progress on the game through the series of reviews they do throughout the month, at least once per week usually. And if I would scale the creative side on the one hand and the financial money stuff on the other and measure the game producer and the exec on it, I would say the game producer is 50-50 and the executive is more, I guess, 80% on the financial stuff and the 20% on the creative stuff. But the 20% comes hardly, and it's crucial. This 20% can change the tides, really. I remember working on the Dungeon Hunter had us in the situation where we got the probabilities for the buffs in the multiplayer. 5% chance to be ignited by enemy, 2% chance to deal critical hit. And the executive game producer played the demo with this and told us to remove the probabilities and make the steady values. Because, in multiplayer, people expect something more steady because they can pay for it with the IAPs. They can just progress and got the buff or be affected by some high probability of the enemy, despite they have more power rating and all that stuff. So overall, he was right. Our executive was right. But I'm mentioning this to give an example for how one advice can change the game completely. We got completely different look and feel once we applied his advice. And one of the clearest distinction between the executive game producer and the executive movie producer is quite often you see the movie execs being a honorary title for the person who gives money or for the actor who influenced direction or vision of the movie. And I never heard of anything like this in games. It's more strict in games. We know what game producer does, what exec does. Executives in gaming are not appeared throughout the process like it is in movies. They are assigned to the product usually from the start and right to the finish. So that's the difference. And still sad truth that both in gaming and in movie industry, the execs are the ones hated a lot by the production teams. And I guess the reason for this is that production teams are considering the executives to be on their side, defending the creative vision of theirs at its fullest, But in reality, what production team gets is, business first. Business interests are crucial, and they put higher than the creative vision usually. And they feel it as a betrayal from the execs who gives that opinion, who gives that point of view. And I'm not exaggerating. I often heard the exact same word, betrayal. They failed us. He's not on our side, all of this. And I think that strong feeling comes from that, creativity creative minds, they automatically considers that if another specialist, who executive producer is, has the skills and mind to understand the creative message, then this person will be completely and automatically, without any debate on their side, by default. It just works like this. It's something subconscious. And when the executive comes in and say that, well, we can't finish this at this scale, we have to follow the schedule, or this won't work because, well, the trends are this and your creative vision does not align with this, well, here we are. The executive is the most hated person in the room. Anyway, I wish... no, I'm not wishing. I guess I'm thinking, and I consider that the industry is becoming more healthy now, and despite all the layoffs and all that stuff, I see less and less conflicts between the game producer or production team and the executive game producer. Maybe because the business side of things finally got into the minds of the whole team, and maybe because the executives are more careful now with their strict business pushing, all that approach. I can't say for sure, but I see improvement. I recall my first games in 2013, 2014, when the executives really pushed our team and when we hated them. And I see that now in many companies I have friends in, the things are different. And usually the exec and the game producer, even the programmers, QA, and people in the team are uniting in the goal to make the game financially successful, financially great. And that's awesome, because you can do a really great game while you're conflicting with the ones who takes the creative decisions too. You have to be ally with them. Well, that's it for today. I have no more words to say on this topic. Like, subscribe, you know what to do, and I see you there in maybe even less than 1 week. We'll see. Bye bye and have a good one.